lost in the sand, whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around, mysteries we have found.
Oh, good morning, Angelina. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MyTarot Morning Reflection, our daily inventory. And this weekend I did Frederick, Maryland's Moonlit Market. That's what it was. It went from 5 to, well, I went from 5 to 10 plus, but it's supposed to go from 5 to 9. Now I was doing tarot reading in front of this wonderful store called Muse. I love this store called Muse. Just a really great store. And it's funny because, good morning, George. Good morning, Jenny. I have to think about that. I am so sorry. But it's funny because I don't like to think of myself as, I don't know if it's being superstitious or having a security blanket or something, but it's like the first time in years that I did not have my Marseille tarot with me because Mina had done some work on a box of mine, and we had put these aside outside of that box that I use. But I would never have thought how much of a security blanket this particular deck is. I still had 10 decks with me, 15 decks with me. And it's funny because the Marseille Tarot is like the very first woodblock, one of the original woodblock tarots. But it's the one that became popular, that the tarot that we're used to was based off of. But it's so funny, when I looked in that box and half of them were missing, I'm like, this is going to be weird. Because I love talking history. I had to use the ancient Italian tarot for when I was sitting there just talking to people about the history of tarot and stuff. So anyway, I would not have thought that I was this attached to a particular deck. Boy, I'm going to hate it when they finally go. So, other than me rambling, what are we doing here? We are remembering to breathe. Oh yeah. We get to start on Monday, taking a breath. Maybe think about becoming grounded with maybe our feet on the floor, or our butt doing the kitty dance where we get our butt comfortable and relaxing, seeing where our shoulders are and then our neck. Then we can start out the week with maybe a little bit of a presence of mind that's a little grounded. No matter what, at least we can start, if we have any angers or resentments or anything, if we do a meditation, if we do tarot, maybe we can look at those things now before something triggers us later on. So, or as I like to say, we're going to start with using the tarot. I like to think of the universe holding up a mirror and asking us, what do we see? And we can use the tarot to see that reflection. It's a good weekend, though. I can say this weekend that, so she had a planter box in front of her window, and this is where we decided we're going to set me up. And I moved that planter box. I don't know how much it weighed. She helped me. And for the very first time in my life, I can say that I have done something to my back. And it's 3 days now. And apparently it's just a normal thing. Nothing you can do about it except take ibuprofen unless I want to go to the doctors and get muscle relaxant. But I have to say, my back is still sore. So I will be paying attention to that. Make sure that doesn't happen again. But there's that light switch. Listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Okay. So, what am I going to do here? I'm going to make our 3 stacks because that's actually why we're here, instead of hearing me ramble. Our 3 stacks, each one's like a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will go down one path, this stack down another, and this down a completely different one. Katana. Am I pronouncing that right? Because I am horrible with names. Hello. Just ask Jenny or Karina. I really blow those names. Maybe it's my southern upbringing that I've had to get rid of. So, now that I have our 3 stacks, it's like each one's a different... if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one conversation. This stack is a totally different direction, and this one will take us to a totally different place. I'm going to take the top stack today, or what I like to think of as things that are right in front of us and we don't even see it. Okay, I'm going to do our 3-in-1 using my favorite deck. I know it's not the prettiest deck out there, but boy, this is my security blanket. Can't believe I forgot it. First time in I don't know how many years I did not have this deck. Even if I don't use it at an event, it's my security blanket. So the first card we have the Hermit. So what is the Hermit? The Hermit is when we take time to go to our mountain. Where's our mountain? My tarot room is my mountain. Some people could have just a small space in their studio apartment where they have pillows and a candle. This is where we get a chance to just go away and to listen, to learn, particularly about ourselves. And sometimes when there's a lot of noise around us and a lot of hustle and bustle, and our to-do list keeps getting longer and longer, it's hard to go to our mountain. So, let's see what the next card is then. So, we take a breath. We get grounded, feet, hips, chest with that breath, neck. We prepare ourselves for action. Because when we get a court card could be us, somebody else, part of the situation. But we have the Knight of Wands. Knights are the element of fire. Wands are the element of fire. So we have fire of fire, and that is our passion, our creativity, our energy, our action, our movement. This is what we do when we get up on a horse and just run with something. So, but let's see what they're looking at. It is the Lovers. So, when we have the Lovers, notice this is different than the Rider-Waite-Smith. And so this is the original one. This is the one that Pamela Coleman Smith would have said, oh, this is the Lovers. Let me make my deck in 1904 that became so popular. But originally you see here that we have 3 people. One is like this person in the middle, and they have a choice to make. They have over here is probably a widower, somebody who has land, somebody who has money, probably the person that the parent wants them to choose. And over here we have somebody who looks closer to their age. And maybe since we can see that we have a foot going on this direction and he's actually leaning in that direction, maybe that's the choice that this person wants. And notice this person has got their hand on their heart here, signifying that maybe this is a love interest. But notice that we have this older person here is a little bit wiser and more experienced. And notice where their hand is going. So when we make our choices, sometimes we have the emotional choice, and then we have our hormonal, more passionate type of options. So this card is about making choices. So sometimes, notice I never do past, present, or future. I always say that. I always look at it more like, what does the cards want to tell me? And I think with this, what this is kind of reflecting is that, sometimes when we are the knights, I like to think of knights as when we need to get things done. It's action, it's movement, sometimes just doing things because we have to do it. But sometimes when we are the knight, are we making the right decisions? Because he's not the king yet. The knight is learning to become the king, who is clear-sighted, who sees things the way things are, who's not going to be manipulated into making choices. A knight, if they get angry, if they feel passionate, if they are just kind of running, sometimes this is us when we are not really making decisions based on facts. We're making it on emotion and passion and things like that. So today, as we look through our week, because the minor cards are just day-to-day cards. This is a welcome to a Monday, right? Then we have our destiny cards, which are our majors. And our small actions that we make day to day can have big influences tomorrow. So this week as we're starting out, we have things we have to get done. There's a lot of confusion going on in the world. The newspapers, you pick it up, it's like, what the heck's going on? All these things like that. And the knight, when we are the Knight of Wands, good, bad, or indifferent, we're not, it's not about, let me be clear-sighted about this. It's about, I've got so much stuff to do, I'm just not going to have time to take 5 extra minutes for the small things. So, when we are going along this week, do we need to get off our horse? And say, I am going to stop, I'm going to think, I'm going to do what I need to do first. I'm not going to let this fire and energy move me forward. Because the other option is I'm going to make a choice. And the thing is that we have Cupid up here. And sometimes when we are not sure what to do, maybe we get caught in that situation because look at him staring at that option. He's almost like handing that fire and energy and wand to this person here. But there's outside influences trying to make these decisions for us. And if we don't make that decision, sometimes Cupid will make that decision for us. So the question is, do I even need to make a decision right now just because I feel like the Knight of Wands? Or, we turn our back on this because sometimes we don't feel like we have an option. Here, make a decision. Here, make a decision. Here, make a decision. It's like, which one is going to weigh? But let's see what the advice card is. This is a very grounding card. Coins are our home, our health, our finance. Coins are the element of earth. Coins are when we have our feet flat on the ground. So keep in mind that our bodies are the elements. Feet are ground. Hips are fire. Heart is water. And our heads are air. This is asking us to have our feet flat on the floor. And even though we can be the Knight of Wands and be vibrating at each situation, thinking that we have to make a choice right now, thinking that it's like everything is happening all at once, here's the choices that we must make. The question is, do I need to make that decision exactly at this minute right now? Do I need to hand this person a wand and say, here, choose, here, choose, here, choose, choose. Threes are about growth, but it's a steady growth. It's a grounding growth. Threes are about progressing forward, but about, doing it in a grounded manner. Maybe talking to other people, working with other people. But the big thing is with Earth is planning instead of just reacting. So today, instead of just running with that need to make choices, to let things manipulate our decision process, maybe we can go back to the Hermit. And the Hermit is looking where? In the past. The Hermit is making choices based on the way things are, the way things were, so that we can make that growth. Today is about just having our feet flat on the floor and not letting the winds and the fires and all the stuff coming at us force him to make a decision. And what does that mean? Well, some people are laid off today, and it's a scary time, so they're making choices about, where they're going to make their next move. Do you want to be, in a situation like this, or can we treating this like a scale, can we just take a day, 24 hours, to go to our mountain and not have Cupid force an answer? We have retirement plans that I'm working on. We have things like this that is going on. Do we make plans based on this minute? Do we make plans based on this hour? Or do we make plans based on 365 days with us right in the middle? What was the last 6 months like? And then let's plan maybe what the next 6 months is, but not have, again, the night make those decisions for us and force those decisions. So today, if you can put off a decision, if you can find your mountain and contemplate it as we move forward this week. Don't let the news make decisions for us. Don't let our passions make decisions for us. Don't let all these outside influences make decisions for us. So with that, I hope everybody has that amazing day today. It's the beginning of the week. We have a new day today. So this is a positive thing. So let's breathe through it. Let's breathe through reading the news. Let's breathe through what we're doing. And let's take time to go to our mountain. And that'll be a good way to start our week. With that, have an amazing day, an amazing evening, wherever you are. I am going to be back here again tomorrow. Isn't that exciting? Man, I am such a Knight of Wands, aren't I? My gosh. But with that, take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Actually, Jenny is right. That makes a really good solid base, doesn't it? The Three of Coins makes a really good solid base. So, take care, everybody. And hello, Katana, and goodbye.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand, whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems.